I murdered someone. I murdered a young man that didn't deserve to die, because of my ignorance and my false belief of what I thought was my reality. We gang banging. We not giving a fuck. We tearing shit up. That was me. That was me. I said, you know what? I went to trial and I lost. But instead of getting convicted of first-degree murder, I got convicted of second-degree murder. Went to prison and did my time, man.
What did they give you?
So I was sentenced to 28 to life.
28 to
so
life.
I was sentenced to 15 to life for the murder, for the second-degree murder, 10 for the gun, and 3 for the gang enhancement.
What's up? Welcome to the Others Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. And follow us on Instagram to find more information about us. I'm your host, TEERAH. Before I begin, I want to give a shout out to GQP TV, my boys, Tommy and Hung from Higher Podcast. And today's guests on episode 1, we have the big homie, CAPONE. Go ahead, brother. Introduce yourself.
Just as my brother mentioned, the homies call me CAPONE. Government name, something damn long. However you call me, you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah. Tell everybody where you originally from, where you grew up, what area.
Okay, so my parents are from Cambodia. My parents are Cambodians. I was during the Cambodian genocide. My parents escaped their town to Thailand, where I was born in 1973, June 21st, and that's where I was born. Was in a refugee camp for 5 years, and we got sponsored and made it to America, San Diego, 1978, 79, something like that.
You're like 6?
Yeah, something like that. And then came to San Diego, and began our life out here in America. Which was difficult, because my parents were country folks. So coming to America, they didn't know how to speak English and nothing, but somehow they made it work. Got the rent paid, kept the lights on, made sure that there were food on the table for us. I began kindergarten.
So when you first came here, you landed straight into San Diego?
Straight in San Diego.
Oh, wow,
Right there on 50th and Trojan.
Wow, I normally hear people stop by somewhere else before they come to San Diego. Okay, cool. How many, tell us about your household, your siblings. How many brothers and sisters you got?
So, so my father was married to another woman. So my father was married to his first wife and had one son. I don't know the story behind that. And then he met my mother, and my mother had Sopan, which is my oldest brother, or second oldest. My other brothers, the first brother is half. And then my sister, Sopin, and then one of my brother after him, he passed away in Thailand, which I never got to meet. I was too young to remember. I was alive, I was born, but I was just too young. I only remember his funeral. So after him, and then it's my brother Chino, and then it's me, and then my baby brother Tiny. Up in the household, it's just regular, every normal Cambodian household. Moms and pops was at work. We all come home from school. The older siblings had to make sure that they fed us, showered us after school, and things like that. I remember walking home one day, and in the midst of walking home, me being the older brother, making sure my younger brother was straight. So we're walking home, and something just told me to just look up. you know, and I happened to look up, and these two white young ladies had a bucket of water from the balcony, and they I guess they already knew that we were passing by, which tells me now that I think about it, it was premeditated. So they knew that we walked the street all the time.
So this is like when you guys first arrived from the airplane, and you guys like you guys are the only Asian people or Cambodian people on the block.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
they ain't even used to seeing you guys.
No. Right. So and then that's when I first experienced like I want to say racism, but it could be, you know, prejudice or whatever the case may be, right? So yeah, and I just happened to look up, and then they poured the bucket of not hot water, but water on us. Luckily, you know, we had some cat-like reflexes, and you know, dodged it. But that was our first experience of.
So that's your earliest memory of coming to America. Like, how old were you?
Yes, I was probably like 6, maybe
6?
7.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
6, maybe 7.
Wow, you still remember that?
Right. So around 85, for some odd reason, my parents were coerced to move up north to the Central Valley.
Okay.
Yeah, to the Central Valley, and because the Central Valley is a agriculture area.
Yeah.
Right, and because my parents were farmers, country folks.
Right.
It was ideal for them.
Yes.
Right, so it was ideal for them, and they made the move. So they, you know,
What part of Central Valley are you talking about?
Modesto.
Modesto. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Modesto. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Motown, baby. So we went up there. I think it was like in '85 or something like that. So my parents worked in the fields, you know, like any migrants, you know. So they worked in the fields because that's what they know. They did that in the country, so they're used to that. So, and by now, I'm already like 11, 12, something like that, right? So during the summer, when school is out, they would take us to go work with them in the field.
So you left San Diego at 11 to move to Modesto.
11, 12, something like
7,
that.
11,
Maybe,
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you stayed
so
in
about 11. I want to
So
say
you stayed
11.
in San Diego for about 5 years. Then you guys
Right.
moved out to Modesto.
Right.
Okay. All right. So you moving out to Modesto. You in like your prime age right there. You about to go to middle school. You
know
about
what
to
I'm
like
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it like up in Modesto?
It was cool, you know. It was cool.
What street you stay on? I heard there's a couple of famous streets out there.
Yeah. So I remember the first street we lived on was John Street. It was right by this river, and I mean it was cool. I mean Modesto was Modesto, you know what I mean. And when I got to roaming Modesto and you know making new friends and such, and you know, and by then I done already met some of the homies that were already in the criminal lifestyle, and you know they took me on adventures and things like that, and that's how my criminal lifestyle began.
And what age would you say? You saying this is like
So
11,
okay, right?
11,
so
12.
So you know, at like 12 years old or whatnot.
Are you like already a part of a gang or anything like that? At this point
Not at that time. Not at that time.
Okay.
Not
But
at
you're
that
just
time.
being
I'm just-
knucklehead.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I'm
Did you experience juvenile hall or anything like that within this period of time?
I'm about to get to that point.
Okay.
I'm about to get to that point.
Okay.
So now, so I never got caught for any of that stuff, and you know, lightweight ashamed of it in a sense, right? However, you know, I did what I did. You know, it's facts, and then so I when I was working for my parents, things like helping them out, right? Really, I realized like I'm doing all this for nothing. Like at this time, this is what's going on in my mind. Like I'm doing all this hard work and I'm not even getting rewarded for it. You know, and you know at that age, You know, you're about to go into junior high and things like that. You know, you want to be a part of the in crowd. You know, the people that you want to hang with, they got some Nikes on and things like that, and you over here with some Pro Wings. They not finna let you. But anyhow, we all know that. And then, so I was like, man, you know, if my parents my parents not gonna give me some Nikes, I'm gonna go get it myself. You know, and so it all started with, you know, stealing bikes, you know, putting it together, you know, slanging it, things like that. You know, started smoking cigarettes, you know, because we wanted to be the cool kids, you know. So and things like that, and that's how it all transpired. You know what I mean? And then it began from stealing bikes to stealing cars. You know, we would steal cars from Modesto, you know, drop it off at a chop shop in Stockton, steal another car from Stockton, take it to Oakland, drop it off to another chop shop.
Damn, you guys are very entrepreneur kids there. You
Right,
guys
we're 12, 13 years old.
Getting money from cars.
Absolutely. So, and back then, you know,
It wasn't joyriding. It was making money.
we was trying to get it. You know what I mean? And then and we did it. You know what I mean? Well, before that, you know, the homies was teaching me how to steal cars and shit like that. But even prior to that, they was teaching me how to get like free credits in video games and stuff like that. And it was exciting. It was intriguing. You know what I mean?
Like, what part of the neighborhood when you got to Modesto did you live in?
So when we first got there, we was living on John Street, which wasn't too far from a popular Cambodian neighborhood called Paradise.
Yeah.
So
I heard that one.
I think we lived on John Street for like maybe a year or so, and then we moved to California Avenue, which was like 3 blocks away from Paradise. So I was over there thugging every day.
So it's like a big Cambodian community.
It's a big Cambodian community.
Okay,
Cambodian community. And that's when we got to know like more Cambodians, like going through what we were going through, or myself, I should say. And we just clicked up and vibed and kept pushing forward. And then you know, about 88, when 1988 came around, you know, my brothers and I formed a gang called Hit Squad, you know, Modesto Hit Squad. And then, which I kind of like, you know, not proud of it because a lot of people has lost their lives over that title, and a lot of whether they were deceased or went to prison for a life sentence. You know, I'm not proud of it. I wish it was different, but you know, it was what it was. You know what I mean? So and yeah, that was the neighborhood in Modesto. You know what I mean?
What age would you be forming Modesto Hit Squad? What age do you think you was at? You and your brother.
I was 14.
You was 14. Okay.
I was 14. Yeah, I was 14 years old. Were
you still going to school at this time?
No, I was already spending Yes, I was going to school, but it was a juvenile hall.
Oh, okay. So you got locked up. What was your first time getting locked up?
So I remember November 27th, 1987. It was the first time I ever went to juvenile hall for Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
My damn ass did some bullshit. You know? No, I ain't even gonna say that. Let me take that back. I stole a car. I was getting ready to go drop it off in another city. I'm driving down the street, and I just so happened to cross a 4-way intersection where the cops was on the opposite direction. And as I'm passing him, I'm looking at him and he's looking at me. So at 13 years old, any adult knows, like, come on, bro, you ain't got no goddamn license.
Yeah.
So he, you know, flipped the U, pulled me over. At 13, I'm thinking I'm finna talk my way out of this. You know, this is my car, so on and so forth. But come on, man. You're 13 years old. You're a baby. Any adult know that a 13-year-old can identify a young man.
But you attempted to try to talk yourself out of it?
Because I thought I was slick. All right, so anyways, he's like, no, you're not even 15 years old. we're taking you in. So on the random plates, it was already reported stolen, so on and so forth. So, and I went to juvenile hall for, Grand Theft Auto, and that was at that time. Yep. And that was my first experience. And by me going to juvenile hall, man, juvenile hall was so sweet that I didn't even mind going in there. That's how crazy it was in with the mentality that I had at the time.
And this was in Modesto, right here.
This was in Modesto.
Was,
Yes.
was your older brother all going through the same same
No,
stuff as you?
I was the first black sheep.
Oh,
I
okay,
was the
okay.
first black sheep.
Okay, wow, okay,
I was the first black sheep.
okay.
Yeah,
Cool. So you were the first one to go to jail in your family.
all that.
All right. So did you graduate from high school or middle school? What's the farthest grade you went to?
So I went to middle school. I went to junior high, 7th grade, and that's when I learned about ditching. Fuck school. I don't need school. I don't need school. I think out of that whole year, I probably ditched like 8 months out of that shit. I was like, forget school. It ain't teaching me nothing, so on and so forth. Me and the homies was like, man, let's go. And we talked to some of the young females, to go out there with us, and they did it. And we was just, kids being kids, and I guess in the lifestyle that we were living, so, and then I did not graduate junior high because I flunked 7th grade. So I had to repeat 7th grade, and because of my age, the following year they had to push me to high school. So when I went to high school, now I'm already full-fledged gangbanging now, right? I'm already full-fledged gangbanging now, and then so I go to high school, and I got expelled the first 2 weeks. Me and my cousin, who he's not my cousin, blood related, but we homies.
Yeah.
Instead of saying we homies, that's my cousin.
You guys
because
are
we're closer.
Yeah, close.
We're closer than homies. So, anyways, I was in class, and I lived a block away from the high school. So after school, I'm coming home. I see my cousin scrapping with some white boys, and he was there by himself, and there were like 5 white boys. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Oh, hell no. I run in the house, grab the shotty, came out, bust that motherfucker in the air. If you motherfuckers don't leave now, somebody gonna end up dying.
What you doing this in high school? 15, 16 years old?
I'm
Yeah, it's gotta be, right?
I'm 15.
15,
I'm 15
yeah,
now.
15.
I'm 15 now. I come out with the shotty. I bust that thing in the air, and then I told the white boys. I said, man, if y'all motherfuckers don't leave now, somebody gonna die today.
And that's after going to juvenile hall or before?
All that. No, that's after.
After juvenile?
I done been to
Okay.
juvenile hall. After this, I done been to juvenile hall like 5-6 times already.
Okay.
I'm thugged out already.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
official
yeah.
already.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so yeah, but my cousin was out there, squaring up with these fools and shit like that, and I came through, did what I did, and then they all left. The next day we go to school. One of the teachers like, hey, they want you in the office. I go to the office. My cousin was like, oh, it's all bad. I'm like, what the fuck, right? He's like, man, that shit from happened yesterday. Them motherfuckers snitched on us. So, so police was right there. They cuffed us up, and they took me and my cousin to jail, to juvenile hall. You know what I mean? And then, and I just been active ever since, man.
So what's the longest stretch you did as a kid? This is before, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
County or nothing like that.
Okay, so before all that, I went to YA 3 times.
You went to YA 3 times?
Yeah, so for those who don't know what YA is, so CYA is the acronyms for California Youth Authority. It's pretty much like prison for juveniles. So I went to that motherfucker 3 times, and the first one was for Grand Theft Auto. The second one was for.
At what age did they send you there?
I went there. I went to the first time I went to Hawaii. I was 15 years old.
They sent you to Hawaii at 15 years old?
15 years old. Yes.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. So I did 2 years. Got out, bro. I got out for 30 days. The homies, and I'm gonna tell you really where I didn't give a fuck anymore. Excuse my language, man. For the audience that aren't used to the profanity,
Yeah.
I apologize.
I'll probably have to beep it out anyways.
Yes. So this is the time where I really didn't care. When I did my little 2 years for what I did, I got out. My intent was to go straight. So when I got out, the homie was like, "Oh yeah, the homie Capone out, such and such and such and such." These fools went and did a robbery. The victim pointed me out. Said, I'm the one who robbed him. But because I was on parole, so on and so forth, they took me in. They gave me 5 years for that robbery.
At 17?
At 17.
At
Yes.
17. You got tried as an adult?
No.
Oh, okay.
That law didn't come in at that time.
Okay.
I was paroled September 17th of 1990. October 19th, 1990, I was arrested for armed robbery.
That's the next month.
32 days I was out.
32 days, damn.
32 days I was out.
Yes.
So anyways.
That's nothing.
So I went to juvenile hall. I tried to... The same day that this kid got robbed for whatever he got robbed for, I was at the mall with my parents buying some clothes for Chino to send to him because he was in YA too at that time.
Yeah, okay.
And when I went to trial and everything, my parents knew I didn't do it, so they got me a lawyer and everything, and I still got found guilty. Had the receipts for everything. Here's the kicker. While I was at the mall buying some clothes for my brother, the gang detail hit me up at the mall. You know, they're interviewing me and all this. They doing what I'm giving them facts, right? And then later on that day, I'm walking down the street. They pulled me over talking about, we're arresting you for armed robbery. I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah. So I had so when I went to trial, I had the receipts, had the that gang detail come testify saying that, yeah, I met this motherfucker over there at the mall at such and such time. Because the victim said, yeah, I'm sure that's him.
Wow. And that's
gave
all
me,
they needed.
They gave me 5 years for it.
Wow. So you did 5 years of something you didn't even do.
Yes.
Okay.
I got I got 5. I was sentenced to 5 years for something I didn't do. So when I went to YA, I met my brother. I met Chino at the my bunk is right here, and my older brother's bunk is right here.
So you tell me he's not in for the same crime.
He went in for he had 5 attempts.
Oh wow.
He had 5 attempted murders.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
And so he was already in it for like 2-3 years already. You know what I mean? So I just happened to slide through and met up.
Yeah. You guys got blessed to see each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And so while I was at that, I was in Preston School of Industries. And then so while I was there, they wanted to send me to camp, right? I told them, you know, my mentality was like, I'm already in here for something I didn't even do, you know, but I'm not going to snitch on the homies, so on and so forth. I took the rap and took off with it, right? So I told them, they was like, hey, we're interested in sending you to camp, such and such. You'll have a good, you know, you'll do your time well there. They feed you good. They'll pay you, such and such. And I told him straight up, I was like, if you send me to camp, I'm going to escape from that motherfucker. Right? They sent me to camp. I escaped from that motherfucker. I escaped. You know?
Oh, you escaped on your 5 years, basically your 5-year sentence.
Yeah,
Okay.
I escaped.
How long were you into your sentence before you escaped?
I was already like a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah,
Okay.
about a year and a half. I escaped. And the only reason why I escaped was because I called home one day and the homies, they were driving from Modesto to Oakland, and then they had got into a car wreck, and all 5 of them passed away.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, so when, I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm out of here, right? So the homie Mad Dog from his squad was there too. And then, so I escaped. The next day, he heard about me escaping. This motherfucker decided to escape too. And, you know, a couple weeks later, we met in the streets like, oh shit.
Wait, take us through the process of escaping. How did you escape? Like, what time you got up, cover your bed, what you do?
So what happened was, so they sent me to fire camp.
Uh-huh.
They sent me to fire camp. So fire camp is open. There's no like 12-foot barbed wire fences or anything like that. It's wide open. You know, because
You're training to be a firefighter.
right, you know, and they trust you, right? You know, but they trusted me too much at that time. So anyways, so when I got that phone call or whatever, I decided like I'm out of here. So I was on a fire crew with this another Cambodian homie named Joe from ASW, Asian Streetwalker up out of Stockton, you know. And I was telling him like, man, I don't want to be here no more. He was like, you want to escape? I was like, shit. But he's like, what's up with you? What you want to do? He's like, shit, man, fuck this place. We out of here. So by that time, I'm already a professional at car stealing, right? So I got the tools that I needed, which was just 2 screwdrivers, and then we just left. We just AWOL'd pretty much. We just AWOL'd, and then got up out of there. You know what I mean? And
You found a car?
it was simple, yeah. So we walked down. I was locked up in Ben Lomond Fire Camp, which was in Santa Cruz, up in the mountains. So every day, Monday through Friday, they take you out. The fire crew takes you out to go do community service, which is cleaning out brushes on the side of a mountain, or go to the public park and just clean it up, whatever the case may be. So before we, so right after breakfast, we went to breakfast, came back. They sent us out to work around the camp. So we went to the shed, grabbed the screwdrivers, so on and so forth. Hit the brushes, and we just walked ourselves down all the way to the city of Santa Cruz. Found the first parking lot, and it took us like 8 hours to get down there.
Oh wow!
Right, we had to cross little rivers and shit.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And what you guys in, like jumpsuits, orange jumpsuits and stuff?
No, we were in our camp gear, which was like a beige shirt, some dark blue jeans, and some fire boots.
Okay.
Yeah, so we walked all the way down there, found the first parking lot, and I found the easiest car to steal that I can get in and get out in less than 30 seconds.
What kind of car was that?
It was a truck.
A truck?
Yeah.
A Toyota truck?
It was a Toyota truck.
Okay.
And then so I got up in that thing, and then started the car. Boom, we took off. It was under a minute. And then as we're driving, so I'm doing the driving, and the homie, he in the back seat, he going through shit, right? This motherfucker found a fresh 6-pack of beer, still ice cold.
Wow. Okay.
So told me that whoever owned this car was getting ready to go home.
Yeah.
Cause his shit was ice cold, or his or her shit was ice cold.
He wasn't too far.
No, he wasn't too far.
Yeah,
So we was gone. So we was gone. I'm drinking on the freeway, whatever the case may be. Yeah, man, and that's how we were able to escape. You know what I mean? And went to Stockton. I didn't want to go to Modesto because I already knew that once they find out that I was gone, they already know, like, they're going to hit all the spots in Modesto. So
But you went to go attend the funeral, though, right?
I didn't.
You didn't attend the funeral?
I didn't.
Did you go pay respects or anything like that to the house?
In my heart, yes, but
Okay.
not physically.
Okay.
You know? So, Yeah, man, and you know, at that time I was already full fledged, man, and
You're 18 already.
no, at that when I did that I was 17.
Okay, you're 17 already.
I was 17.
So are you 17? You left fire camp. You're on the run.
Absolutely.
And
I was on the run for 22 days.
22 days.
Yeah, I was on the run for 22 days. So besides the homie that was that the homies that passed away in the car wreck, the other homie got lit up by some enemies, some people that we didn't get along with. So we found out in the process of all that, we found out who was responsible for that. So me and the homies, we loaded up, went to the location of where this person that was responsible for this murder. So we went there, and the driver or the owner of the Cadillac didn't tell us that one of the taillights was out. So as we're approaching the scene of where we're about to commit these murders, luckily we got pulled over, and so there was 4 of us in the car, and we had like 5 guns, you know, a couple of automatics, a couple of rifles and things like. We about to light it up, you know, but luckily for everybody, you know, that we were pulled over, and my dumb ass was in the back seat, and at the bottom of my feet were just a bunch of shells. I didn't even bother to like try to cover it up or nothing when we got pulled over, because I don't even know why we got pulled over.
Yeah.
Come to find out, he pulled us over for a broke taillight.
Yeah.
And because he came to the side of the driver's side door, and I'm in behind the driver's side, underneath my feet were just a bunch of bullets.
So you're in the car on the run with all this stuff in the car.
Yes.
All right, for sure. Okay,
yes.
okay.
You know, I'm active already. I don't even care. We about to do this.
You're going to jail no matter what.
We about to do this. You know, and then so he called for backup, and I tried to tell the driver to like open the door fool so I could run. You know what I'm saying? But his scary ass didn't want to open the door, so I'm stuck in the back seat. So we all ended up going to jail. Okay. So I had to go back to YA, finish my time. You know, and then and that's when I got out, March 23rd.
So
March 25th, 1993.
So how much time did they give you from the this is at 17, you said?
I did like 3.5.
3.5?
I did like 3.5.
Okay.
You know, and so March 25th, 1993, I got paroled, and by then my family had already moved back down to San Diego.
I mean, how was this is your longest experience in YA right here then, right? This longest stretch in YA right now.
Yes.
You just got done doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is the same stretch you saw your brother
Yes,
at.
same stretch. Yes.
So
absolutely.
how was the experience? Your experience in YA? Like, what are your memories of it?
So to be honest, I had fun in there. I had fun because that was my element.
Yeah.
You know, we gang banging. We not giving a fuck. We tearing shit up. That was me. That was me.
Yeah.
You know, that was me. You know, like, what's happening? Let's do this.
Gladiators,
so that was me. That was my element.
Yeah.
That was my element.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're about to come back home worse than you was going in.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was worse. I was worse than I was coming in.
Okay.
Because, you know, and the reason why I say worse is because when you go up in there, you meet everybody. You meet other people's walk of life. We're talking about Mexicans, white boys, blacks, every ethnicity out there. You know, you think you a bad motherfucker? There's somebody in there that's badder than you.
Yeah.
You think you a big motherfucker? There's somebody in there bigger than you. It humbles you in a way, but you learn from it, right? So, and that's what I did. You know, I'm not the showboat or anything like that. I like to sit back and observe.
Yeah.
You know, and master the whatever it is I'm trying to learn, and then branch out on my own. You know, I'm not gonna go in there blind. You know, and that's how and that's what made me worse, cause before going in, I've thought that I was good at stealing cars. And when I met some other people that was on some real elaborate high-tech schemes than what I was going through, I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Lace me up. And that's what they did. You know, selling drugs, same thing. You know, robberies, same thing. Gang banging, same thing. And that's what made me, and with the knowledge that I absorbed while I was there, made me worse.
Was you getting like family visitation from your parents at that time?
Not at that time. No, not at that time. I was getting visits weekly at that time because Modesto wasn't really far from where I was locked up at. And then so I was locked up in one institution. Chino was locked up in a different institution, but it was right next door.
Okay.
So I got it to the point where when my parents came to visit me, they would bring Chino over from where he's at to accommodate my parents. Okay. Instead of going to visit me Saturday and visit my brother Sunday.
They was able to do that for you?
They was able to do that.
Okay.
And we took advantage of that because where I was at, we weren't allowed to smoke.
Yeah.
So I would tell Chino, bro, when you come over here, bring a couple packets of cigarettes, and we gonna do it because I was landscaping.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
after the visits and stuff, I would come clean it up. So I would have Chino bring the cigarettes or whatever, and we would stash it.
Because he was already like an adult unit.
No, bro, I was.
No, Chino was.
No, Chino was 17. I was 15.
Yeah, okay.
We were both young. We're not adults yet, you know. But we were already like criminal minded. You know, we were always like plotting and scheming about how can we make this work, and we made it work. You know, at that time, you know, I was selling one cigarette for like $2. You know, and every week he would bring me 2 packs of cigarettes, bring it over here. I bury that motherfucker. And then after visiting was over, I come back, clean everything up, go to the spot, pick that thing up, take it back, get my slang on. Man, they was loving me for it.
Oh, okay. Then you're like you're gonna be getting out of like at 20 or something like that. Then, right?
No, so that was my first stint. My second stint, which was when I got the 5 years for something I didn't do. So with that, I got out. I was 19.
Okay.
I was 19. I was out for like 3 months, and then so I'm working in Esco as a machinist.
Okay.
I was building
the company Esco, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was making infrareds for airplanes or something like that. Just little small parts.
Yeah.
And then I was out for 3 months. I was working. I came home one day. So we have this uniform. It's a blue uniform. You know, you got your name on it, whatever the case may be. And then because the machine that I work on spits oil. So, you know, you have to wear like a hat or whatever the case may be. But me being me, I decided to just tie my head up with a blue rag.
Yeah.
Right? So when I came home that day, I was hungry. So I decided, right now, at that time I was living on Euclid and Whiteman, right across the street from that 7-Eleven.
Well, you're still in San Diego this time, right here.
Yeah, I done already paroled to San Diego.
Oh, you paroled back to San Diego. Okay.
Because my family already migrated back down to San Diego.
Okay. So, what you were doing the time, it was in Modesto, though.
It was in Stockton.
It's in Stockton.
Yes.
But your family already came back to San Diego.
Yeah, and I was still doing time.
Okay, so when you got out, they extradited you back. They was able to bring you back here, or you got released up there?
No, I got released up there.
And you made your way on back.
I had to catch a Greyhound.
Okay.
You know, my pops and them went up there to pick me up. But on some bullshit, they didn't release me to my pops.
Uh-huh.
So I had to call my pops like, hey, pops, you just going to have to pick me up at the bus station in downtown San Diego because They not trying to, do any of that stuff. So made my way back down to San Diego, whatever the case may be. Got
What age is this right here? Would you
I'm
say?
19.
19. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
so I thought
19. So I'm 19 now. And then so I get a job. I get my nephew hooked me up with a job. I'm working there for 3 months. I come home one day. I'm still in my work jumpsuit.
What job you got?
I was a machinist.
You're a machinist.
I was a
right?
machinist. Yeah.
An Esco.
In Esco.
Okay.
In Esco.
Okay.
In
In Esco.
Escondido,
Okay.
right?
Okay. That's why I was like, Exo. Is it a company or are you talking about
in Escondido? Yeah. So I worked.
Okay.
So the company
makes
was called Art Technology.
Okay.
We were making infrareds. Well, I was making infrareds. The other people were doing whatever they're doing. So but anyways, that's a whole nother story. And I come home from home one day. I'm hungry. I go in the kitchen, and nothing. So I decided to go across the street to 7-Eleven to get whatever. I would think it was like a hot link or something, whatever. I come back home. So I'm living at this apartment, and then the homie Dark lived across the street on Auburn, and then the homie Bandit lived next door. So I'm 19, Bandit and Dark were like 14. The young homies, the little homies.
Yeah.
So I'm eating my hot dog or whatever the case may be. I'm by myself. I'm at the stairs on the streets. And Euclid, Home Avenue, that's where all that's the route that the gangbangers take from Southeast to East Dago.
Yeah.
It's active. So I'm sitting in the stairs, I'm eating my hot link or whatever the case may be. I got the blue rag on my head. I'm in a blue jumpsuit. Some Damus pull up on me talking about, where you from, homie? I said, motherfucker, where the fuck you think you at? You know what I'm saying? And then they was in a 510 white. They was in a white 510 wagon. I remember it vividly.
Okay. They from the southeast.
They from Skyline.
They're from Skyline.
They from Skyline.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
like, what's up, blood? Where you from? I was like, man, where the fuck you think you at? I'll be back, blood, and I'm gonna be right here.
Okay.
Right? So they take off. I go upstairs. I grab my 40, come back down. I cock that motherfucker. I'm down there eating my hot link or whatever. Bandit and Dark come through. What's up, homie? What such and such? I said, y'all don't want to be here right now. It's going down. He's like, man, what's happening? I was like, so I told him the episode of what happened. They're like, fuck it, man. Fuck these motherfuckers. We here. You know what I'm saying? We out here. So I'm waiting for these motherfuckers to come back. Batman and Marquez pull up on me. They draw down talking about, get your hands out your pocket.
And this is
so
a gang unit, right?
Gang unit.
Gang
yeah.
unit shows up. Yeah,
gang
okay.
unit pulls up. Whoop, right? Get your hands out your pocket, whatever the case may be. I got my hand on the trigger and everything. I'm waiting for these motherfuckers, right? And so I didn't put my hand out of my pocket or nothing. They come out their car, whatever, they draw down on me, and they pull my arm out my pocket. My shit's still on the trigger, right? Batman was like, man, don't you know we could have killed you? Because of this bullshit, whatever the case. I don't give a fuck about all that. So, mind you, I live right up there. And then as the whole episode is going down, my brother come downstairs. He looked like, what the fuck? Right? I'm just shaking my head. So the little homies is telling my brother like what's going on. So I go to jail. So I got violated. So I got violated for possession of a firearm, ex-felon with a loaded firearm, and so I go to jail for. I did the rest of my time, which was a year.
Okay, so you came back to San Diego.
Yeah.
And how long were you in San Diego for? You caught this?
I was 90 days. I was only out for 90 days.
Damn.
I was only
30 days, 90 days.
Yeah, I was only
short.
out for 90 days, right?
Yeah.
So, I was in so I'm in the county jail.
You going to county? This your first?
I'm in the county jail now.
First time in the county right here.
First time in the county.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like, where you from? Oriental boys, 47th Street. Oh, what's up, homie? You know what I'm saying? I know your folks. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I got love. You know, everything was good. And then so I'm already knowing that I'm about to go do this time and shit. And then Big Bullet come through. Big Bullet come through. We had a conversation.
Oh, you saw him in jail?
Yeah, I was already locked up.
Yeah, you saw Big Bullet in jail.
Yeah, Big Bullet got locked up he got picked up for 2 attempts. He came in. He was supposed to go in next door. But I was like, nah, man, there's some enemies over there. You don't want to go over there. Just come over here.
Rest in peace to the big homie.
Yeah, rest in peace. Big Bullet. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
I was like, you don't want to go over there, man. There's some enemies over there, man. You know, they're going to get you. Just come over here, bro. So he's like, yeah, but they assigned me over there. So, man, fuck all that. Just come over here. So he came over there. Boom, they let him in and all that. So we chopped it up, you know, about all that stuff. And then he was like, you know, he already knew my history. So he was like, I don't know how you do it, bro. I was like, shit, I don't either. I just do it. He's like, man. So he wasn't used to like the county jail food and stuff like that. But because I've been doing it for so long, I was used to that. You know, and luckily for him that I had just made it to the canteen and things like that. So I was doing good. And, you know, I was like, look, bro, this is all you right here, man. Whatever don't worry about it, man. Just eat whatever you feel like eating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just do all that. That's all you. And then, like, my portion of the county food and his portion of the county food, I would take all that. You know, because I already know in my mind, like, the homie not used to that. Because this is his first time. So anyways, you know, we used to chop it up at night. And the homie was like, bro, I don't know how you do it, man. If I ever beat this shit, I ain't never coming back to this motherfucker. And he held that. He held that. The next thing I know, I called home one time and the homie was like, man, you heard what happened to Big Bullet? I was like, no, what happened? They told me what happened. I was like, oh my God. So now I'm flashing back to when we were cellies, not cellies, but bunkies, right? I'm like, damn, man, the nigga was talking, he was on some real shit.
Yeah, he wasn't going to come back.
He wasn't coming back. And that's what he did, you know? So...
I'm not sure you want to explain that or anything like that on the microphone.
I don't want to do. I don't want to do it only for the simple fact that other people will have their opinions on it. But it really doesn't matter to me because at this point right now, the homie rest in peace. I'm gonna let that be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Shouts out to the homie. Shouts out to Lil Bullet too.
Absolutely, man. I just saw that motherfucker the other day. But hey, you know, Lil Bullet, you a father now. You already know, man. All praise is due to God, man. So do your thing. So yeah, man, and then when I got out from that little stint, I got out a day before I turned 21.
A day before you turned 21.
Cool. because I was a juvenile, they had to let me go before I turned 21.
Okay.
I already knew that. I knew that. So Chino, my sister, came pick me up, you know, and then I was on I was still on that bullshit. You know, I was out there doing my stuff. You know what I mean? And 30 days, I was investigated for a couple of murders and shit like that. And then I decided to just leave San Diego.
So when you first got out, you started getting into a lot of trouble already.
My first day out, my brother was like, bro, I got a present for you, man. The day you get out, I got you. I come out. He hands me a Glock 17.
What?
You know? Because, you know, he already know. He already know. You know what I'm saying? That's me. And I was like, shit, man. I heard about these motherfuckers. I'm finna put this to the test.
Yeah.
So I was already active, man. I was doing my stuff. And then, like, the first month I was out, you know, doing our stuff, man. And then they started investigating about these murders that occurred, you know. And then... you know, we did what we did, you know, and I decided to leave California. I decided to leave San Diego. So I ended up going to North Carolina, where I stayed out there for a year. I woke up one day out there, and there was like maybe 3 police cars sitting in front of the house, which was abnormal. And then that just told me that it was time to go. So I came back to California, but instead of coming to San Diego, I went to the Bay Area.
So you this whole time when you got out, you was ducking the case for now.
Yeah.
You was ducking the case. You
Yeah.
already had a warrant for you. They're investigating, or they had a warrant for you already.
No, so when I went to North Carolina, got spooked, came back to Cali.
You flew to North Carolina.
No. I'm riding.
You drove all the way to North Carolina
Yes,
from San Diego.
I'm riding.
Damn.
At that time I had a '79 coupe.
Okay.
I had a '79 Cadillac. Drove that motherfucker all
That
the way.
shit
out
was
there.
like 2-3 days.
3 days and 3 nights.
3 days, 3 nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and on my way back to Cali,
How long you stay out there for?
I stayed out there for like a year.
A year. Okay.
Yeah, I stayed out there for a year, and then when I realized that, when I got spooked, I just left, and then I came out to back to California, you know, and instead of going to San Diego, I went to Oakland, thinking that it was going to be thinking I was going to be low profile. Didn't know at that time that Oakland was one of the hottest places.
Oakland's wild.
Oakland crazy. You know, shouts out to Oakland, East Oakland, man.
Murder Dub.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Funny thing, bro. So I'm out there, but it's a long story. But switching gears to how I committed my crime up there in Oakland. I was doing my stuff, so on and so forth, and got a lot of information about some people. I was out there not burglarizing, but robbing computer warehouses, and then making a killing. So my first month I was there, you know, we flipped, you know, and you know, some females were like, you know, filling me in or whatnot, and they were like, "Hey, man, you know, these dudes that's out here is not feeling what you're doing." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because I'm kicking it with these dudes every day, but they ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
But a female that I was messing with,
Oh, there was a certain neighborhood you was kicking with out there.
I mean, Oakland wasn't really about like gang stuff. It was more about getting money.
Yeah.
You know, if you was getting money, you know, we gonna do it together. So but just like in any other city, you're not going to accept out-of-towners coming to your city, getting all your money.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's pretty much what happened. So a female pulled me to the side. A female that was feeling me pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, man, you know, these dudes ain't feeling you, man. You know, you only been here for 30 days. You know, got a car. You know what I'm saying? You throwing barbecues. You know, back then, you know, in Oakland, you know, an ounce of weed, you know, some bomb weed, you know, is like $600. You know, so, you know, I'd buy an ounce of weed, roll a little punk ass joint, and then give them the rest, you know, and I'm like splurging. They not feeling that. So this female talking about, "Hey, man, I overheard a conversation about these fools plotting on you. They gonna rob you." Shit, they don't know who they fucking with. So I welcome that. Had my gun, did my thing. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Fast forward, the day came, man, and they tested me. Over a basketball. It wasn't even over a basketball game, bro. I'm over there shooting hoop. That's one of my favorite activities, to, you know, shoot hoop. And then so I was shooting hoop, and I didn't know this at the time, but they were enemies. These dudes from across the street didn't get along with these dudes, so they going back and forth, and then it all transpired, you know, and these fools supposed to be, you know, fighting, getting that fade one-on-one. Motherfucker decided to pull a knife and a gun. I just pulled my shit out and I gave it to him. You know,
And this is all happening in Oakland right here.
In Oakland, yes.
Okay,
But I
East
was up there
Oakland.
hustling.
Okay.
You know?
What brought you to Oakland? Why did you choose to go to Oakland?
So when I was in North Carolina,
Yeah, what brought you to North? Why did you go to North Carolina to begin with?
So the murder investigations.
But who had family out of North Carolina? That's far, you know.
No, I went
It's
out,
random.
No, so it was me, my cousin Tony, and 2 other friends. But those are Tony's friends, not my friends.
Yeah.
But they already knew my situation. They was like, man, you want to go? I'm like, shit, I ain't got nothing to lose.
Okay.
Let's go out there.
You,
So I went out
caught
there.
a ride. You caught a ride.
I pretty much,
Yeah, okay.
I'm out of Dago.
Yeah.
So I went out there. Surprisingly, out of 4 of us, I was the first motherfucker to get a job out there.
Okay.
You know, so I was lightweight proud. But anyways, so while I was out there, I don't know how this motherfucker got a hold of my phone number, but he called me. He said, one of my childhood friends, the one who actually taught me, it showed me the criminal lifestyle. This is the person.
You want to give him a shout out?
Black Cat, Ray Yin,
Alright.
motherfucker. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be who I am today. However, I know you out there doing good, and I'm happy.
That's right.
And you're the brother, but fuck you, cuz. So anyhow, he taught me all that. So anyways, he calls me and says, bro, the feds is looking for me, man, on some bullshit. I heard you out there in North Carolina, man. Can I come out there? I can't turn the homie down.
Yeah.
You know, my day one. I can't turn him down. So I was like, yeah, come on here. He come on here, but he didn't tell me he was gonna bring his girl. So they out, oh my God. So it was just all bad. So he stayed out there for like a month. Then he ended up sending his girl back to Stockton because that's where she was from. And then like he's working and everything. And he was like, bro, look, check this out. We out there doing big in Oakland, man. We robbing computer warehouses. We're talking about $1 million licks. We're talking about $500,000 licks. I'm over there working hard like a motherfucker, like, man, shit. You know what I mean? Back then was minimum wage in North Carolina at that time was like $4.25.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that's $1 million sounds good to me. So we packed up and left. Came back to, so we went to Oakland.
Okay, yep.
Bust a couple of licks. I was feeling it.
Okay.
I was feeling it. The homie Iceman told me, bro, you can't gang bang and get money at the same time. You got to give one of them up. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but you can't do both because he done did it. He had experienced it. So I'm already 21. I'm thinking I know everything. So you know, motherfucker couldn't tell me shit. And I did that. And then that day came, man. That day came, and I ended up murdering somebody that didn't deserve to die.
And this is like over a conflict during the basketball game?
So, yes. So, going back to that day, man, I was out there playing ball, minding my own business. You know, Oakland got their gangs, you know, so on and so forth. I'm not a part of all that. I'm from where I'm from. I'm a rep that. You know, whatever y'all got going on here, that's on y'all. So I'm out there playing ball, man, and these fools get into a conflict. I come to find out that all these gangbangers ain't got no strap, no gun. But I'm the only one with a gun. I'm from out of town. So and then the conflict occurred, and you know I murdered a 17-year-old kid. You know.
And you were like not 20 years old yourself,
right? I had just turned 21.
21, okay.
I had just turned 21. I wasn't even out of YA for like a year yet.
Okay.
You know? And then I murdered someone. I murdered a young man that didn't deserve to die. You know, because of my ignorance and my false belief of what I thought was my reality. You know? And so I went to.
I mean, like, well, was there a lot of people that witnessed this when it happened? Because you were at a basketball game. There had to be a lot of people.
There was.
It was like broad daylight time.
It was 4:00 in the afternoon. In the evening, early evening.
So the sun is still out.
Yeah, it's going down. You know, whether it's 7 in the morning, 12 at noon, lunchtime, dinner time.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Okay.
Business had to get taken care of, and it's going down with me. You know what I mean? And that was my downfall, you know, because my love and loyalty to what I was dedicated to, which was the people that I love and the people that I care about.
So you was backing up the homie, basically.
Bro, that wasn't even my fight.
Yeah. Like
It wasn't even my fight.
Why would you get it? You was backing up the homie. Obviously, you knew somebody there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I only know this motherfucker for like 30 days.
And you showed them your loyalty.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then at the end of the day, man, all these motherfuckers went to court and testified against me.
Damn.
Yeah. So, which made me more bitter. On top of the 5 years that I did for nothing.
Yeah.
When I was 17.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's piled up on top of that. So I'm really not giving a fuck, you know? So
So the night this occurred right here, right? After
Yeah.
the situation happened, what did you do? Did you like go back to your place?
so
What was going through your mind?
so I had a couple racks on me at that time. I had a couple racks on me that time, and then I went to my second oldest brother's house, who was still living in Modesto. For some odd reason, man, the dude that I was fucking with, I just told him, I said, look, bro, on some street shit, if you get caught up before I do, don't involve me. And vice versa. His answer was like, bro, who the fuck you think I am? I'm from the streets just like you. So when he said that, I was like, I took his word for it, you know, because that's something I would say as well.
Yeah.
You know? And then, so we're in Modesto for like a week. And
So you left from Oakland to Modesto.
yes.
Okay.
And then some of the homies from his squad, and then they were like, I told them what happened. They were like, I need some more money, you know, so I could get up out of here. So everything was already planned out for me and my crimey to leave. So my crimey was like, man, I need to go back to Oakland, say, you know, pack up, say goodbye to my parents, so on and so forth, and then be gone. I was like, cool, okay, you deserve that. I'll give you that. This motherfucker go to Oakland, bro. He get caught up. Once he got caught up, he done spilled the beans. He done told the police where I lived and my brother's house and everything.
Your blood brother.
Yes.
Oh man.
This
Okay.
month, I'm sleeping the next morning. I'm sleeping in my room, or not my room, but in the house. SWAT team pull up. I look up. I remember hearing somebody banging like with a batarang at the front door.
Who house was you at?
My brother's house.
At Modesto, right?
Yes, my blood brother.
The one that told the one that told on you.
No. The one that told on me is somebody that I just met.
Oh, okay.
Through the homie that was running from the feds.
Oh, okay.
That came to North Carolina.
I got you.
Right. And then
You heard banging on the door.
Yeah, I remember I'm sleeping with this girl that I was messing with. And then cuz she was with us the day that I committed the murder. And then she was with me. It's like maybe 6:30 in the morning. All I hear is like a loud banging on the door. And then I heard my brother say something. I couldn't remember what it was. I remember rolling over, looking for my drawers or whatnot to put on. And then I saw out the window, there was a sniper on top of the neighbor's roof.
Okay. Yeah, you saw him.
I saw him.
Yeah, okay.
And then I tell the female that I was messing with, I said, look, you know, we done for. And then that was pretty much it. They came in, you know, gaffled us up, extradited us to Oakland.
Okay.
You know, because I was in Modesto at my brother's house. And then so I fought the trial and everything, man. And
So did your charges from San Diego ever pop up, or were you...
So I'm sitting in the county jail on a first degree murder charge
in Oakland?
In Oakland,
Mm-hmm.
for the murder in Oakland, and the second day that I was in Oakland, in the county, Mike Gallivan and Marquez flew up to Oakland.
Mike Gallivan?
Yeah.
Man, y'all don't know Mike Gallivan. He's like one of the main Asian gang detectives in San Diego City. Spooked. I think everybody that knows the name.
Especially, OBS.
Yeah.
Shout out, you know what I'm saying? All the time. Sevens. Anyways, he comes up there talking about, we already knew this was going down because, you are who you are, you know what I'm saying? So this is when Chang passed away. Tiny C.
Yeah.
Tiny C passed away. Tiny C passed away. Tiny C got murdered. I just so happened to be in the vicinity. I don't know how they got this information, but they talking about I was responsible for it and all that. I was like, I don't know what y'all talking about, man. And because I left the North Carolina is what made them suspicious that I was responsible for Tiny C's murder.
Okay.
So anyhow,
Rest in peace to Tiny.
Rest in peace, man. Shouts out to his family, man.
Yep.
We love you. From the bottom of my heart, I got love for the homie. I had nothing to do with it, straight up. So you can take it for what it's worth. But the person that I am today, I hope that it can be resolved somehow, some way.
Right.
So yeah, the second day that I was in Oakland.
So you're basically locked up in Oakland right now. You're fighting a murder trial.
Yeah, first degree murder.
First degree murder trial.
Yes,
Okay.
and then Marquez and Gallivan flies up there from San Diego, gang unit, and then trying to coerce me to just plead guilty or admit to Tiny C's murder so they can close the case and go about their business. And I told them straight up, I'm not finna admit to something I didn't do. You know what I mean? So straight up. So they were like, well, you already somewhat admitted to this murder. You're already going to do life in prison. You're not going to die. You're going to die in prison. So why not just take this off our hands? I'm not finna do all that.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, in the event that you'll ever get released, or if you even beat this murder case up here in Oakland, we gonna come and get you for Tiny C's murder. I said, man, you do what you do. I ain't heard from him since. That was 1995.
Damn. Okay.
That was 1995.
Okay. So now you're going to court in Oakland for your.
So I pleaded self-defense. I didn't know no better. I'm 21 years old. I pleaded self-defense. So as we walking up to this dude's, and they're supposed to be fighting one-on-one. I still have nothing to do with it. So we walk up there. One of the dudes pulls out a switchblade right in front of me. I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker finna get me. I didn't waste no time. You know what I'm saying? I pulled my thing out. I bust on him. I gave it to him. And then, and I don't even want to sound like I'm, glorifying it or any of that, because there is sorrow and there is pain.
Yes.
Not only for me, but for his family as well. And I pray that, they can forgive me for what I've done. And from my standpoint with who I am today, I'm doing the best that I can to give back to the community and raise awareness on gang violence. You know what I'm saying? So, but going back to that day, he pulls out a switchblade on me. I'm thinking, of course, you're going to feel that. It's either fight or flight. So I choose to fight. So I shot him, man. I gave him everything. I gave him the whole clip. And then, so after I got done, I fled the scene. As I'm fleeing the scene, I hear gunshots, behind me, And I already know that everybody that I was socializing with at that time didn't have a gun, but me. That's a fact. I know that. So because I know that, it had to come from his folks, the ops, right? So, and with that knowledge, I went into trial pleading self-defense. You know, they found the knife at the dude uh, that I murdered. He still had the knife in his hand, and his cousin was the first one to get to. I found all this out in trial. His cousin was the first one to get to the person that the victim, and then when he rolled him over, he still had the knife in his hand. So the cousin admitted to taking the knife out of his hand, wiping it clean, and throwing it across the yard. Right? So it proves what I was trying to say. But they couldn't prove that gunshots occurred after my gunshots, because the person that got killed got shot 6 times in the front, and then he got shot twice from behind. And there is no way that I could have done both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's right.
So we tried to prove that, but it just, nobody. They didn't find my gun as evidence. They didn't have my gun as evidence, and they didn't have the dude's guns as evidence. So it was just up in the air. So I ended up losing. Instead of getting convicted of first-degree murder. Well, let me go back. I was involved in some other criminality. So when I flew, I'm not gonna put his name out there, but he's out there on death row right now. We were involved in a lot of criminal activities, and he's sitting up there on death row right now. And they told me, like, this is what we'll do for you, because we know that you're involved with this person, and this person, and this person. If you admit to this crime in Oakland and Tiny C's murder, we'll drop the cases against you, and we'll just give you 25 to life. I said, there ain't no motherfucking deal.
Shit.
Fuck wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
So I ended up fighting and stuff like that. So a year later, I was already sitting in prison. I come to find out that one of the homies from TRG that I was used to do dirt with, he did what he did in San Bernardino. If anybody knows that story, they already know who I'm talking about. So if you a part of something, you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't know it, do your homework.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, and I decided to say, you know what? I went to trial and I lost, but instead of getting convicted of first-degree murder, I got convicted of second-degree murder, went to prison, and did my time, man.
What did they give you?
So I was sentenced to 28 to life.
28 to
so
life,
I was
okay.
sentenced to 15 to life for the murder, for the second-degree murder, 10 for the gun, and 3 for the gang enhancement. So, and I had to do that consecutively. I had to do the 3 years first. Once that's done, I had to do the 10 years. Once that's done, then I got to start my life sentence.
Oh shit. Okay. So when you went to court that day and you heard this, right? How did you feel? How did it make you feel? Were you like numb to it still?
I was already. I accepted the fact that this was already going down, because I knew what I did, and I take full responsibility for my actions. If you and I were to commit a crime together and I did most of the work, I'm going to take responsibility for everything, because I feel like, there's no point of both of us doing time where just only one of us has to do time and the other can help the other person out from the outside.
Yeah.
Because if we're both doing time, we can't help each other.
Yeah.
So if I did most of the dirt, I'd rather take the dirt and let you go do your thing.
Yeah.
And however you respond to that is how I'm going to judge you. So if you get released and go about your business and live your life, that's how I'm going to see you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But you and I wouldn't know what's going on. We did what we did. And you were able to go home. And by you being out and me being in prison, not to say that you're taking care of me, but being there for me when I need you to, because that's what I'm gonna count on.
Yeah.
And if you're not there, then I'm gonna leave it at that. Because the moment I see you, I'm not gonna disrespect you or anything like that. I'm just gonna give the deuces and be out.
So you like 21 now. You just got sentenced to 28 years. You still in county right now. You didn't
Yes.
even go to prison yet.
So the day that I was supposed to the day that I got found guilty, the judge was like, okay, so I'm about to go on vacation for a month. So we're gonna schedule your sentencing 5 weeks from now. I whispered to my lawyer, I said, look, check this out. Tell this motherfucker to sentence me today. My lawyer was like, you really think that's a good idea? Because, when he comes back from his vacation, he's going to feel good. He's going to be lenient.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I get the concept. I told that motherfucker, I said, you really think I give a fuck about all that? I just got found guilty of murder. I'm already finna get a life sentence.
Yeah.
What the fuck is 1 to life or 50 to life?
Yeah.
I got sentenced to life. And this is at that time. So he was like, man, are you sure? I was like, yes, I'm positive. Get me on the bus. Get me on the bus. Get me on the first bus smoking. So he's like, are you sure? I said, yes. So my lawyer goes, Your Honor, my client will request to get sentenced today. He's like, I'm not going to sentence you today, but I'll sentence you tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, that nigga broke me off.
For real? What do you?
He maxed me out.
Oh, he maxed you out?
He maxed me out.
Damn.
But I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I already know I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even really matter. And then, so I got sentenced that Friday. The following Friday, I was in San Quentin.
Oh, the following Friday you went straight to San Quentin?
Following Friday, I went to San
And you was 21 years old right here? 22?
No.
22?
I fought my case for a year and a half, so I'm about to turn 23.
Okay.
I'm about to turn 23.
It's still pretty young, though. I
was young,
walking
bro.
to San Quentin at 23?
Bro, I still got my ID
Shit.
from San Quentin. Of how young I was, bro. But, I'm not trying to glorify none of that, man. I'm just sharing, my experience, and I hope that, people could take the good and the bad from it and use it to their advantage, however that may be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
so when you walked up into San Quentin, how were you feeling?
oh my God,
nervous?
So the first thing, the moment I walked into cell block, CC block, Carson. That's where they carried anybody that was sentenced over 10 years or over. They'll send you to Carson C block. So I went through C block, man. I had my bedroll. And I ain't gonna lie, it was scary as a motherfucker, right? The moment I walked in there, San Quentin is 5 tiers, man. So I walk up in there and I look up. Motherfuckers is burning toilet paper, throwing it off the tier. It's smoky as fuck. Then you got the homosexuals walking around. Then you got the guards walking around. Motherfuckers, it's loud. First thing came to my mind was American Me.
The movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember vividly, bro. Man. I can see it like it was yesterday. I remember asking myself, like, what the fuck did you get yourself into? But I held my head up high, boom, went up in there, did my thing, just me being me. And then walked up to the 4th tier, 411. The homie from C-Dub, he was a Korean homie from C-Dub. He was like, hey, what's up, man? Where you from?
Oh, so you ran into some
homies.
Yeah, some homies.
Yeah, they were like, man, what's up, man? Where you from? I'm Capone 47. Original boys, you know what I'm saying? He's like, okay. I forgot what they called him, but I remember him as Mike. Yeah, I'm Mike from San Jose, C-Dub. I was like, okay. He's like, you coming up in here? I was like, yeah. He's like, man, you welcome. Went up in there. He's like, you smoke? I was like, hell yeah. Rolled up some weed, rolled up some cigarettes. I'm doing my thing, right? And then, so, we just got to know one another, man. And that's how. So, let me rewind back a little bit. So, when I didn't know this at the time. When I walked up to the 4th tier, meeting all the homies and stuff like that. So as I was walking down the tier, because there's like 50 cells on one tier. It's a 2-man cell. I'm walking down the tier, and then I see a couple of people that I recognize from YA. So when I got a chance to know these, to meet up with these dudes, I come to find out that the reason why they're all in prison was because one of the juvenile inmates murdered a woman, a staff, and dumped her in a garbage can and everything, bro. They didn't even find her till the next day, like at the what do you call that? At the landfill.
You talking about this is happened to CYA?
This was it. Yeah, it happened in YA, bro.
And they pinned all them little kids on it?
Yeah. Well, what they kicked all the kids that were over 18, all the kids that went to YA, and then after they turned 18, everybody that was over 18 got sent to prison.
Well, okay.
So when I was walking the fourth tier, I recognized some of the homies that I met from YA. I was like, what the hell y'all doing here? That's when they gave me the story. Like, man, some white boy was having a love affair with the staff.
Oh, shit, okay.
And he couldn't take the fact that she had a husband, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
So I guess he was too insecure, and he didn't want her to mess with anybody or whatnot. And she was like, man, I'm finna do me. So he ended up killing her. I'm just paraphrasing.
Okay.
I'm just paraphrasing. And he ended up murdering her, and then I guess he put her in a trash bag or whatever, sent her out in the garbage, those big garbage cans, and then the dumpster came, picked it up.
Are these like other Asian homies?
Nah, there's some white dudes.
Some white dudes? Oh, that you remember from seeing YA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some white dudes, some brothers, Mexicans and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, okay.
Because in
they remember you too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, I was up in there kicking up dust.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then, so yeah, when I got to prison, man, and that's how it all began. My 27 years in prison. That's how it all began.
Okay. So let's go through when your first year, how many years did you spend in San Quentin before they transferred you and stuff like that? Memories you got over there? What's your biggest memories in San Quentin? I'm pretty sure you met good people there.
I've met a lot of good people along the way.
Yeah.
I met a lot of good people along the way, only because I was smart enough to segregate the good and the bad. You come to smell bullshit when you smell it, because the old saying is that it takes one to know one.
Yeah.
Because I used to bullshit so much that when a motherfucker bullshit to me, I already picked it up. So I already know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So now I done already like labeled this motherfucker like, oh, this fool, he bullshit, right? But you meet a lot of real people as well, and when I was in YA, fast forwarding, all that. When I was in YA, I met a lot of good homies, and there's about 6-7 of them. They all had life sentences, and when I got out in '93, I think it was the day before I got out in '93. Ariel Cook, we spoke. He was close with my older brother, but we spoke the day before I got out, and he was like, "Bro, like, I know who you are. I know what you're about." He said, "Man, if you don't leave those guns alone, bro, when you get out, you're gonna kill somebody." And that's pretty much what happened. So, in the midst of me doing my time in prison, I was able to communicate. I don't know how I got it, but I was able to communicate. But, he didn't give me a hard time because he already knew. He already saw it unfold. And that's why he gave me that warning. So, fast forwarding it 25, 30 years later, all those people that I considered real close to, they all had life sentences. Through the grace of Allah, we're all out here, and I'm still in contact with them. I was just up there like last weekend. Remember I was telling you I was going to LA?
Yeah.
I was up there kicking it with them.
Okay.
All these dudes that I was in YA with, they all had life sentences.
And they all made it home.
We all made it home, bro.
Oh,
We
wow.
all
Okay.
made it home.
By the grace.
By the grace of God.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I think, I like to believe that every individual has a good side of them. We just have to somewhat pry it out of ourselves, and show those individuals that you are something good. We just choose to make bad decisions. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
We just choose to make bad decisions, man, and a lot of us did that. And speaking for myself and my brothers that has done life and that's doing life, they can attest to that yes, we made super serious bad mistakes, but we all have a past, but we can change. If I can change, and I'm not trying to compare myself to anyone else, but I've met some real animals up in prison. Animals that don't deserve another day in life, but they've changed.
Yeah.
They've changed. And if it can happen to them, it can happen to anybody.
That's right.
And that's why, I'm here to share my story, to, promote peace, promote happiness, and moving forward, man, because I want to see the progress in everyone struggle to want better and to do better.
Okay, I know when you first got into prison, right?
Yeah.
You didn't feel this way right here. It had to take a lot of stuff that was going on within the time.
Yes. So I remember 2005 June. I'm gonna say June. Salinas Valley, level 4, 180. We already know anybody who did time. 180 is like the next step of hell, right? So I remember the homie I got trying. Anyways, fast forward. I had N-Dog from CBC. You already know who it is. Shouts out, man. I love you. I hope that you're doing good. And I know that you heard that I've been out. Let's link up. Anyways, I had an ounce of crystal in prison and a half an ounce of heroin. And I forgot what it was, but one of the correctional officers, I don't know who killed them, but one of the correctional officers got killed, and we went on lockdown. And then I was cool with it. Shit, I had hella drugs. I had like 60 cans of tobacco.
How far in your sentence were you?
So
already?
this was 2005. So I'm 10 years in already.
Oh, you 10 years in already?
I'm 10 years in already.
Okay. So you already left San Quentin and you're already in
all that.
Salinas. How many places you transferred to already?
So by that time, man, oh my God, there's so many stories, and I remember when we first from San Quentin, I went to High Desert, level 4, 180.
Okay.
Brand new prison, you know what I'm saying? And you can still see fresh bullet holes on the handball walls and from the mini 14s and all that. So I'm already like, oh my God, I'm finna die in this bitch, right?
It's hot over there too.
Yeah, man, you got snow, rain, and sun all in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a bullshit. Susanville, right?
Yeah, Susanville, that's
so,
right.
So I go there, whatever, right? Hella drama, man. But I think a year later, we went to war with another ethnicity. I won't put that out there. But anybody who was there between 95 and 97 already know what transpired. Two of the ops got shot by the police. One died. The other one was severely injured. And one of the homies, he got shot with the mini, and he was severely injured. So they put a green light on us, and bro, it was like 14 homies against like 200 motherfuckers.
Okay.
But we was already prepared for that. We already knew it was going down.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we went out there, the homies that went out there and did their stuff, but we was on the opposite yard, because everything that transpired was on the upper yard. We was on the lower yard. But we was prepared though. So anyways, when the riot popped off, so on and so forth, 3 people got shot, 1 died. So they locked everybody down, man.
Oh, so they came for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But we already knew that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the homie told me the only reason why they allowed to let the ops get deep, because you got to remember, this is a fresh prison, and it wasn't that many of us, right? So one of the ops that called the shot said, yeah, this is going down. So fuck everybody else. We trying to get the one who made that shot. So as everybody came out, they just waiting for the dude who called the shot, because that's the one that we're trying to murder. We don't care about anybody else. We're trying to cut the snake's head, in a sense, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but he never came out, because he was smarter than that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the homies was like, hey man, these fools getting too deep. Let's just do it now. And went out there and stabbed everybody in sight.
Oh shit. So how did it end up? How did everybody end up? Did a lot of people end up getting hurt?
Yeah, but it was just like minor injuries, nothing like no life threatening, anything like that.
So at this point in time, you already thinking that you're never gonna come home, and you
Yeah.
already had the mentality like I got nothing to lose.
I remember waking up let me take that back. I remember waking up to a bright blue sky, and you already know, anybody who's been to the level 4, you come out to the yard, you check in with the homies, you do what you do, you meet and greet, and you go about your business, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I remember vividly coming out, man, looking up at the sky, bright blue sky, not windy, it's warm. And I used to always tell myself, today is a good day to die. Today is a good day to die. And I said that because I didn't want to die in prison old age.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They say the good die young.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go there.
Yeah.
So I really didn't care. Like, when things was getting ready to pop off, I'd add fuel to the fire. Let's do it.
So at what point in your prison sentence did you actually start finding peace? What was it that caused you to find that peace?
So I'm a fast forward to 2005, when I was telling you about Salinas Valley. CEO just got murdered.
Yeah,
We was on lockdown. I had a couple of ounces of drugs. Me and the homie Endor from CBC, we sellies and shit. And then I was up for like 9 days. Cause we on lockdown, we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
All the food getting brought to us. So we want to do our stuff. So and I got high for 9 days. I was probably hallucinating, whatever the case may be. But I remember Endor was sleeping on the top bunk. I'm at the bottom. And then just contemplating, man. And I was at my lowest at the time. And maybe the drugs has gotten me to that point where, like, man, you need to, like, reflect. And that's what I did. And I remember vividly, man, I thought about my life, how I grew up, how I came to be, where I'm at, and what really triggered all that, what really triggered the motivation, that gave me the motivation and enthusiasm to live a more healthier lifestyle, was when I thought about my own death. The questions for myself was like, man, if I die today, who would be there to come visit me? Who would be the pallbearers? Who would speak on my behalf? And if they did, what would they say? And my questions to all that was like, I don't know. I know there's nothing good to say about me, besides all the bullshit I've been through. I was always locked up. I was always in trouble. You know, this and that, this and that. And then I got emotional at that moment. Like, damn, bro. Like, is this what you want for the rest of your life? You know, what about what does moms and pops think about you? What have you accomplished? Nothing, bro. So growing up, I knew when I was getting straight A's, they would pay me out. So I know I have a little bit more common sense now, right? To put things together. So I know my parents don't know about positivity or certificates or this and that. They just know that if you have a piece of paper with your name on it, either it's a blue or a red or a white ribbon, they know that's success.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah.
So I had to think for myself, like how. Well, let me rewind. I used to call my parents or my family and be like, "Hey, I changed. I'm doing better. I'm doing good. I'm this and that." And I really was. But they didn't see that. And the reason why, and I didn't know this at the time, they didn't see that because my whole life through the beginning stages of juvenile hall, at the point that where I'm at, were all lies. So, yes, I'm doing good. And every time I'm doing good.
Yeah,
but I end up in the hole.
Yeah.
Or I end up going to jail. Oh, you know, riêng ai.
Yeah.
Riêng ai. Chop thơ. Right?
You've been saying it for so long.
I've been saying it for now it's bullshit. So now that I'm really changing, it was bullshit to him. So I contemplated like, how can I convince them to believe me what I'm saying is true? And then this bright idea came and said, send all your achievements home. You know? So I began to live a more positive and healthy lifestyle. I didn't know how to do it, but I know what I wanted. You know? And I tried. Of course I failed, but I got back up. Got back up. Got caught with dope. Got caught with cell phones. Got in a fight, so on and so forth. But I got back up and pursuing it because that's what I want. So eventually I got to a point where I'm going to college.
Also, you're getting educated.
Yeah, now I'm beginning to educate myself.
Okay.
I'm beginning to educate myself. But let me go back a little further when it comes to education. I remember telling myself, like, damn, bro, you finna be doing life in prison. You have never been able to travel. You know, you've never been to places where you thought you wanted to go. You know, I had lots of places. And then I remember telling myself, well, I can physically be locked up, but not mentally. And I don't know where this bright idea came from, but I started going to libraries. The one thing I come to find out about myself that I love archaeology. I love everything that's old, ancient. So, and I was like, man, I always wanted to like go see Petra, the pyramids and so on and so forth, you know, in Egypt. But because I have a life sentence, it's never gonna happen. But I can travel there through mentally.
Yeah, that's right.
So I started going to the library, getting all the books about Egypt, about Petra, so on and so forth. So I started reading all that. I fell in love with reading, and that's how I got into education.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So you know, years down the line, I started to go to college, getting college courses because it was free. You know, and then so I did all that. Graduated, got some cap and gown pictures. I got a few cap and gown pictures, you know, with different courses and stuff like that. And then I began to send it home because I knew that my family knows when you in a cap and gown picture, they know that that's success.
Yeah, they identify that with success. Yeah,
that's success.
Yeah,
we don't know what it is, but we know that you in a cap and
he doing
gown.
something positive.
You graduated from whatever it was. So I began to mature. I began to work on my speech. I began to work on my vocabularies. I began to work on my approach. And then so as the years went by, I would be calling them like every 2 or 3 months. And every time that I called, they began to recognize that I didn't speak the way I used to speak 5 years ago. I didn't think the way I think 5 years ago, so on and so forth. And so all the things that I've been sharing with them, they're beginning to believe that. And eventually, I regained that love and the respect that I once lost. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel accomplished. I could say that today, you know, uh, they're proud of me. And even doing the things that I'm doing today, I don't have time to call them or so on and so forth. But when they do hear about the things that I do, and when I do go see them, once every 2 or 3 months or whatnot, I see that love. I see that love that's there. You know what I mean? And it makes me feel good. And I want that. I want that feeling for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Yep.
know.
So we going back. We'll go back to like when you were in there, right? Did you like you said you you said Allah. So I'm presuming like you are a Muslim now. Or
Yes.
you're a
So
Muslim man right
yes,
now, right?
absolutely, absolutely. So
So did this happen in prison to you?
I was converted to Islam in
But
prison.
have you been you been a Buddhist, right?
I was raised as a Buddhist
Buddhist.
out of respect for my parents.
Yes.
But at a young age, I was always curious about the traditions and superstition.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, I always thought that there was always a higher power. And as I got older, I come to getting into education and coming to understand a little bit more that uh, I can go real deep, and when it comes to Islam and everything like that. But uh, it's going to take a lot of time and patience to understand.
Did you lead yourself to that path, or did somebody lead you to that path?
So how Islam came about to me was
In prison, right?
when I was in prison.
Uh-huh.
I worked my way up to become a lead cook in the kitchen, where those who aren't familiar with these terms. So in prison, we have somebody has to cook for the general population, and the general population could be 1,500 people. So I worked my way up to become the lead cook, to designate my coworkers to feed the general population of, let's just say, 1,500 people. So as me being me, I delegated, and one of the workers that worked with me at the same shift. I didn't know him as a Muslim at the time. I just knew him as Floyd. So and I was just me being me. So how it all started was the beginning of the shift. I have 15 people that works under me. So um, you three cook this, you three cook that, you three cook that. The rest of you come with me, and then I'll delegate, and then after everything is said and done, I have to manage all that, but at the same time, um, figuring out what to cook for the supervisors and whatnot. So and that's how it all started. So, but instead of just cooking for certain people, I cooked for everybody that worked in the main kitchen, which was probably like 30 people.
Okay.
So it'd be like, and you know how, and in prison we're all segregated. The blacks here, the whites here, the Mexicans here, the Asians here, such and such, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and we're not allowed to share food and so on and so forth. But because us Asians are neutral, all the nationalities are okay with that. So, which worked to their benefit. So whatever is cooked for the general population, what I cook for us here is totally separate. So what I did was, I made sure that all my workers cook for the general population. I'm going to cook for the people that work here.
Okay.
So I would do my stuff, and then I would box everything up. Like, say for instance, you got 5 Mexicans, 5 white boys, 5 blacks, 5 such and such, right? And I would make sure that they got 5 trays. The blacks got 5 trays, such and such and such and such.
Okay.
And so I did that for months and months and months and months. And the brother Floyd,
Right.
he came up to me one day and said, "Hey, bro, you a Muslim?" I was like, "No. Why would you ask me that?" He said, "I've been working here with you for a couple of months now, man, and you don't know this, but I've been peeping you out. Your style, your move, the way you move, everything, your behavior. You have a lot of Muslim traits." I was like, "Really?" And he was like, what was you raised as? I was like, my parents was Buddhist, and that's how I've been raised, because, and we can go back, like, when I was 7, 8 years old, living down in Winona. I remember the ice cream. I was probably like 7, 8 years old. We'd be out there playing marbles and shit like that, right? And then the ice cream truck would come down, and then all the kids, would go out there, stand in line, and buy ice creams. And then, because I didn't have any money, my mom would see that, and I would stand there and just watch them, eat ice creams or whatever. And my mom would see me and be like, "Hey, come inside. Don't ever watch people eat when you ain't got nothing."
Yeah.
So I would go in the house, and then after everything is said and done, then I would come out and play, continue on with whatever we were doing.
Yeah.
So when the role was opposite, when these kids didn't have any money and I had like a pocket full of quarters or whatnot, and I would buy some ice creams and things like that, and then I'm not sharing it, because they ain't sharing with me.
Yeah.
So I'm knocking it down. My mom said, "Hey, come here. Don't ever do that to your friends. If your friends ain't never got nothing, whatever you have, you share it with them."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Mom, but they don't share with me." She's like, "It doesn't matter. You got to share it with them." And that's how it. Now, going back to prison, and
That's how he saw the traits on you, right?
right,
Yeah,
and that's why, like, when I was cooking for all these people, I made sure these people got that 5. However many people was there, everybody gonna get a plate, right? And then that's when the Muslim brother approached. He's like, "Hey, man, you a Muslim?" Nah. So he's like, "Man, you have a lot of Muslim traits, man. You don't know this, but I've been peeping you out for a couple months now." I was like, "Nah." Anyways, and he was like, "Man, you're interested in reading about Islam?" But you got to remember, in my mind, I already believe that there's a God.
Yeah.
Right? I believe that there's a God, because come on, man, if you really like dig deep inside and think about how our brain tells the finger to move, bro, this doesn't happen. This is not a coincidence, bro. This is not a coincidence, man, and it happens like that. But when you get into this, when you absorb this knowledge, it goes even deeper, bro. Real shit.
So
I can't explain it.
So after Floyd, you started to study the Quran.
I didn't study the Quran. I studied the TEERAH, which is like literature of Islam and how Islam came about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can go back to the Old Testament. And
Yeah,
so on
but I
and so
won't
forth.
make it too religious.
We don't. We don't.
We don't.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
just sharing the story about how you met,
Absolutely.
you got introduced to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And and praise be to Allah, man. I feel like if it wasn't for Islam, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be here today.
So you found peace.
I found peace.
Okay.
Even though I found peace in a chaotic environment.
How long were you in your sentence already before you, like, when this started happening? You were more than 10 in already, right?
Let me see. I was 15 years into my sentence.
15 years into your
15
sentence?
years. Yeah, 15 years.
Okay.
15 years, and when I met the brother Floyd, because he used to call me Dr. Damn Long, and which is my last name, and I used to call him Professor Floyd.
And how long was Floyd doing? He was doing a life sentence too?
Nah, he was doing some knick-knack time, but he was already mature because he didn't grow up in the he wasn't gang affiliated.
Okay.
You know,
He's more educated.
Yeah, well, he's more advanced.
More advanced.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's more advanced because he's not with the bullshit.
So all right, you're sentenced to life already. You're in there, and so where along the way did you find out that you were about to come home, or did you get a break? Finding out when you're about to come home.
So when I decided to make a positive change, it wasn't to go home. It was to make my family proud of of my accomplishments.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it was still already set in my mind that I was going to die in prison. So I made the decision to say, you know what, I before, you know, I die or whatever, or before my parents check out, I want them to be proud of whatever it is that I accomplished. And I already knew that, like, they had this little small window. So I was like, I had a little time frame that I had to get things done.
Yeah.
So, and I went and did that, you know, and I just, you know, like a racehorse, man, just put the blinds up and just, you know, strive towards the goal. And then, and it worked out for me, man. And, you know, through the grace of God, I was able to come home, still see my mom and my father. They're still living. They're great, you know, and every chance I get, I try to go up there because they live in Fresno.
Well, was it a law that passed or something that allowed you to come home?
Yes. So in 2011 was when the SB 260 and 261 came into effect. It was clinically proven that male adults do not fully mature mentally until they're 25. So at the age of 24 and under, if you did some dumb shit, not saying that's not your fault.
Yeah.
You was just dumb, you know, to not sugarcoat it. You was just dumb.
Yeah.
You didn't think things through, you know, and we're not going to fault you for that. That's pretty much what they're saying.
And so this is how a lot of brothers are coming home right now, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people with life sentences.
Yes. So and a lot of the brothers that are coming out, you know, after all that time, they're coming out a greater human being. And I can attest to that because I've met so many of them. But don't get me wrong. There's a very small percentage of those that make the rest of the lifers look bad, you know. But I don't want to go into details and all that stuff. But I'll say this. Less than 0% of lifers come back to prison.
Oh, okay. So that means they make it home and they never coming back.
That means out of like 1,000 lifers that come home, maybe 2 go back.
Wow.
To prison.
That's a good percentage. Yeah.
I'm putting my last bottom dollar on it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm proud of that, and I want to be a part of that. You know, because I don't want to be a statistic. You know, I want to be a positive example. You know, come on here, work hard. You don't have to get some skills under your belt, opposed to criminality. You know, when you're down and out, you have a skill that you can fall back on. You know, just public speaking, you can get paid for it.
Yeah.
You just have to find those right connections.
How often were you getting visitation from the family?
Not much, man.
Like once a year, maybe? At that time?
Nah, I want to say like
less than that.
But I'm gonna say it like this, man, and it's sad, but it's true. The 27 years that I was locked up, I was resentful, and then the 27 years that I served time, I probably got like less than 10 visits.
Wow, listen, 10 visits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that it would make anyone bitter.
Yeah, yeah.
But I understand the circumstances and so on and so forth. Because I hear a lot of people say that, man, I don't want to go. I don't want to go visit my son in the cage,
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
or my husband, or my wife.
They don't want to see you in that type of situation.
You know what I'm saying? I get that, so I don't blame them.
So okay, on the day you got the news that you're gonna be able to come home, right? How
Yeah.
did the news How did the news get to you? Like, how did you know?
So with the lifers, you have to be screened. You have to get approved by, for one. So you have to prepare yourself to convince these two people that you're not the person that you came in as. If they grant you parole, they have to submit everything that transpired in this interview,
Uh-huh.
and they have to send it to a group of 19 people, and most of them have to agree
Okay.
to release you.
Majority rules.
The majority rules.
Okay.
And after that's done, they have to send that to the governor.
Okay.
And then he has to approve. So there's 3 stages. So you just have to prove to them that you're no longer. You have to convince them.
And you had all that certificates and everything you was building up at that time.
I did everything.
But you wasn't even building up for that purpose.
I wasn't building it for that purpose.
purpose, yeah,
I built it for my happiness and my family.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
But through the gates, that's the blessing.
That's a blessing.
That's the blessing that all this transpired, and then all these things worked to my benefit, and I did that years ago.
And you were just sitting there in the cell thinking you was never gonna come home.
Yes.
You know, and that's amazing just to see
It's
like the
yes.
outcome that if you put your put your heart in the right direction, that blessings will come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it may not come it may not come towards you from where you put that energy to. What I'm saying is this, like, you bless somebody with whatever, and knowing that this person ain't gonna bless you in return, but the blessing that you gave out is gonna come from a different angle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But because you gave it out of your heart, you don't expect nothing in return.
Yeah, yeah.
But these blessings come, and let me go back, bro. When I'm not gonna. I didn't recognize any blessings prior to turning my life around. But when I committed myself to a more positive lifestyle, and I worked on it, and in my heart, I know I tried my best. And I swear, Allah is my witness. I tried my best, and blessings kept coming. I would look here and like, oh, that's a blessing. Oh, damn, oh, damn,
Yeah, yeah.
It was like back and forth. A blessing. But I didn't know it. But until somebody told me, like, bro, those are blessings. And I started to recognize it. But it came from a different angle, And that's because that's not what you're looking for. When you do something good for somebody, you don't expect nothing good in return from that person. Because, remember I was sharing with you earlier, like, me giving $20 to a dolphin. I don't care what he does with it, because between me and Allah knows what I did.
Yeah.
Allah knows why I gave that dude $20. Whatever, if he uses that $20 to go get some crack or whatever, that's between him and Allah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go down to on the day you got you passed the 3 stages, right?
Oh my God.
Like, how did you feel? Like did they give you a release date?
So no. So how it works is this: you have to get screened, like step by step.
How long did the screen take?
It could take up to 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
It could take up to 6 months. So the first time I went to my board hearing, it was just bad luck. I thought that I did a great job, but somebody decided to escape while I was in the board hearing, and so they had to cut my board hearing short, so on and so forth. So anyways, they denied me.
Okay.
Right, fast forward. They denied me. But I felt great. I felt like I did I presented myself well, so on and so forth. And then, but when I got my transcripts, because rumors that the answer, the answers that you are seeking to convince the board members are in your transcripts, because they low key give you hints on what you need to work on.
Yeah, yeah.
I must have read that motherfucker like 100 times, my transcripts. So I learned where I could have done better. Not to say that this is a bad answer, saying that you could have gave a better answer. And that's what I learned. So I already had in my mind like, man, I should have got a date. But you know what? They denied me. That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to be ready for the next one. So so they didn't deny me for 3 years. But I only had to do like 18 months and I come back for a review. And then I knew that. So I prepared myself those 18 months. I'm finna grind. And I did that. So before going to I remember like that morning, you know, I did my morning prayer. You know, I just asked for guidance. I didn't even ask for a parole date. Allah, just guide me through it. Whatever it is, I'll do it. Just guide me through it. I don't expect nothing else. I just expect you to guide me through it. But really, in my heart, I already knew I was going to succeed. I already knew it because I worked hard. Anybody who was there with me, witnessed me do what I do, or do what I did, knows that I put in the work, you know. And I went in there, did what I did, and I told the law, I told the law, man, if I get granted, the moment I step out of that visiting room, I'm gonna get on my knees and pray. I'm getting emotional right now, you know, because it's serious.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
You got blessed with another chance. A lot of people don't get that chance. You know that right there. A lot of people you met back over there, I know, ain't got that chance right there. One of the few to get chosen. But you did something right, though. You did something right.
takes a lot. Takes a lot.
Okay, so like, is there like like on the day you got out, right? Was your family there to greet you, mom, dad, and stuff like that? Did you get released from? Were you still up in high desert at that time?
No, so by that time I already worked myself down to a level 2.
Okay.
Which was like a minimum security, and then because I'm not a United States citizen, anybody who has been convicted of a violent crime, so on and so forth, all your paperwork gets revoked. We're talking about Social Security, your green card, all that.
Oh,
So now immigration is trying to deport
you're eligible for deportation,
right? So I
Okay.
went through all that. So when I got found suitable, the day that I got picked up, no, the day that I was supposed to get released, immigration picked me up.
Okay.
So I went through immigration.
So you're
but
sitting on INS now.
Yeah, I'm in INS, but I already knew because Chino, Tiny, Angel, Lil Man, all my cousins and all that's related to me, none of us has gotten deported because there's no records of us being from Cambodia.
I got you.
So but I knew that. So when I went to immigration, everybody was like, man, just sign a paper to get deported because you're not going to get deported because they can't find facts of your last name. So it became true, 90 days, and they have to release you in 90 days. 91 days came, boom, they let me go. And then I think I was selfish or whatever because Chino and his girl wanted to come pick me up, but in my mind it was like, it's way too far. I'd rather have the homie right here pick me up. He's like an hour away. You know, to what was going on in my mind at that time. But in hindsight now, I I regret that decision because um uh my brother only wanted to be there for me,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. And um
So you actually got picked up by the homie, and he took you back.
by selling from my desert.
Oh, you selling from my
But
desert?
he was a lifer. He had 25 to life, but he had already been out for like 4 years.
Okay, okay.
And you know, and we were tight too. You know what I'm saying? And when 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 I got found suitable, I don't know, maybe 2 months later, I got a letter from him. And he said, "Bro, you know, I've been out for like 4 years. I'm sorry that I didn't stay in contact with you. I've been busy, just living life, doing whatever. I didn't understand all that at the time because I haven't been out yet. So he wrote me a letter, and he was like, you know, I've been busy, such and such and such, but I know you got parole, and let me know when and where to pick you up, and I'm there. And this is the time where I am going to look out for you because I can, So I was in immigration in Bakersfield. Everything just, like I was explaining to you earlier, the blessings just came left and right, left and right. Everything was put in my place. Like, I didn't even know these people, and they bought me a Greyhound ticket to go to LA. They bought me a cell phone. They, got me some clothes and shit like that. So when I left immigration, all that was there for me. I didn't even ask for it. So got on a Greyhound, went to LA. Mike picked me up, took me out to eat, spent the night at his house. The next day, went shopping. He bought me some clothes, took me to my parole agent, and then after that, went to have dinner and stuff like that, and then dropped me off at the halfway house. And it's been on ever since, And I'm grateful for all that, So,
So how long have you been home now?
so I got paroled June 17th, 21. Went to immigration, got out October 7th of 21. They sent me I had to go to a transitional home. Anybody who's done over 10, 15 years in prison, you have to somewhat go to a halfway home, a transitional home, I should say, for a proper term. Because you're so out of touch with reality, with society, that you have to relearn to live in society. That's why you have to go to a transitional home so you can ease into society, opposed to just throwing you in there with the sharks.
Yeah,
And you don't know what to do,
yeah.
and you're gonna snap, and you're gonna go back to prison. And that's what they don't want. And that's why transition is important. And I recommend it. And I recommend it. And I recommend it. I thought that when I went through it, I wanted to get the hell out of there. And by the time that I got out there, I wish I would have stayed longer. Because there was so many things that was available to me that I was ignorant to, and because I've been away from my loved ones for so long that I
You
just wanted to get
out of
them.
there. Yeah.
And I regret it. Not to a degree where
I think that's almost like human nature.
it is human nature.
Human nature.
It is human nature. However, the heart and the mind has to learn to coexist with one another. Because the heart is where it's really at, but the mind is going to manipulate the heart to coerce the heart to roll with the mind. You hear a female say, "Oh, you think with your dick," or whatever, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. But if we can get our heart and our mind to coexist with one another, you'll make great decisions. you know. And I'm still struggling with it. Shit, I'm not perfect.
Well, you know what, man? Look, is there any message you want to give to this next generation of kids or anybody that's going through a situation, even somebody sitting in there with a life sentence? You know what I'm saying? Because you was able to make it out of there somehow, and you know you could maybe give some comfort to anybody going through any of these type of situations.
So, my word of advice, man: be open. Be open to something new, whatever that is, whatever that may be. It's gonna be a lot of soul searching. Believe in yourself. You can do it. I did it because I was a fucker, and I know so many that has done worse. But no judgments. You know, you are who you are, and you are attached to your past. That's never gonna go away. You have to learn how to live with it and accept it for what it is. But today's a new day. Whatever you did 5 minutes ago, you can't change that. But you have the power to not do it again.
Right.
From this moment forward. So, believe in yourself. Create your boundaries. Know what you want. Be firm. And go after it. Because at the end of the day, this journey that you're on, and you're really by yourself. Because when you die, you're gone by yourself. When you're in that courtroom, you're by yourself. When you're in that boardroom, you're by yourself. You know, and not to make it sound like to be selfish, but it's good to be selfish. But selfish in a good way. Because you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. Whether it's male or female, your parents, your brothers, your sister, your nieces, your nephews. You can't give what you ain't got.
Right.
If you ain't got the love for yourself, how you gonna give it?
Yeah.
You ain't got it to give.
Yeah.
So, love yourself. Be confident. Go for what you know. Stay positive. Keep some positive friends around you. Keep some accounted. Keep somebody who's going to be like, bro, man, you fucking up. And if you keep fucking up, I'm not fucking with you no more. But we day ones though.
Yeah.
And you already gotta know that I'm saying it for a reason. You know, so but it can be done, man. You know, for those who's going through the struggle, don't be afraid to ask for help. I did it. You know, learn to accept the fact that you can't do it on your own. And there are so many people out there that's willing to help, especially out here. But in order for me to help you, I'm going to lead you to the water, but you're going to have to drink it.
Right.
That's all I can do is lead you to the water. You got to drink it. So, if you could show me that you're trying to do it, we willing to help. And we here. Reach out. You already know.
Right. We are honored to have you on here for our first episode. Thank you, big brother. You know, I appreciate you coming out here. And, we got to give you a other shirt right now, too.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
So, you got to hook him up with a other shirt, others.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely. And,
Yeah,
thank you, brother. I appreciate your story and I appreciate everything.
Yeah.
Coming through.
And I'm going to tell you right now, man, it's very rare that you see me emotional. I do get emotional when I need to, man. And, I feel like if you don't cry, you're a machine.
Yeah.
You know, animals cry. Humans cry. If you don't cry, you're a machine.
You're lifeless.
Yeah. You're a different species.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense to anyone. That's just my opinion. It's a human emotion. When it hurts, it hurts. And today, I'm not afraid to cry in public, cry in front of, my homeboys, homegirls, whatever the case may be. I'm sorry, man. I'm sensitive when it comes to something.
Shit, you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot, and that emotions is gonna show.
Yeah, and it just came out of nowhere. But
Yeah.
but that's often though. I'm used to it. Being super emotional, man, and it's rare. So for a lack of a better term, man, enjoy it because you probably may not see it again.
Yes, sir.
So absolutely. And I appreciate, you allowing me to share my experience, and I hope that some the audience out there can learn from my mistakes and use it for good and move forward and hope that the best that the things that I've went through can push them forward in a more positive direction.
Yep. You guys, y'all heard here. Thank you for tuning in to the Others Podcast. Big homie Capone.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Deuces.